Okay, get ready to dive into the world of those tiny powerhouses inside your cells, mitochondria. They're the key to like your energy, aging, even brain power. It's wild.
And you've given us some really interesting stuff to explore, especially like this advanced mitochondrial formula supplement you're curious about.
Yeah, I am. So we'll be looking at both the science of mitochondria and whether that supplement lives up to the hype.
Cool. It's a fascinating area. Most people know mitochondria as like the powerhouses of the cell, but their functions are way more complex than that.
Okay, so let's start there, I guess. I get the basic idea they turn food into energy, but what's actually happening at a deeper level?
Okay, so imagine this, right? Inside each cell, you've got hundreds, even thousands of these tiny organelles just constantly working. They take the nutrients from food, and through a bunch of complex reactions, they convert them into ATP. That's adenosine triphosphate. It's like the main energy currency of your cells.
So they're running this 2047 energy factory, keeping everything running.
Exactly. And it gets even more interesting. Mitochondria don't just make energy. They also have this crucial role in cell signaling. They control which genes are turned on or off. They're involved in metabolism, breaking down fats and carbs. And get this, they even regulate cell death, making sure damaged cells are eliminated.
Wow, so they're involved in almost every part of how cells work.
They really are. It's amazing. And here's something mind-blowing. Mitochondria actually have their own DNA. It's separate from the DNA in the cell's nucleus.
Wait, really? Their own DNA, like a totally separate blueprint. Why is that?
It's like this fascinating evolutionary leftover. Scientists believe that mitochondria were once like independent bacteria billions of years ago, and they formed this symbiotic relationship with our cells and over time became part of us.
So that's why some genetic diseases are passed down only through mothers. Oh,
Exactly. That's because of the mitochondrial DNA.
that's incredible. It really shows you how complex life is.
Absolutely. And this understanding of mitochondrial DNA has changed how we approach certain diseases, how we study and treat them.
Okay, so if these mitochondria are so vital, what happens when they don't work right? I know the source I sent mentioned that their function declines as we age.
Right. And that decline is linked to a whole bunch of age-related health issues. Think of it like oxidative stress, a buildup of free radicals that damage those mitochondrial membranes, like rust building up on a machine. This damage makes them less efficient at producing energy, leading to fatigue, brain fog, and you're more vulnerable to diseases.
That makes sense. So, like those afternoon slumps I get could be my mitochondria struggling.
It's definitely possible. Yeah. And it's not just about feeling tired. This decline is linked to some serious stuff, like neurodegenerative diseases, heart disease, even some types of cancer.
Wow, that makes you realize how important it is to keep those mitochondria healthy.
It really does. And that's where lifestyle comes in. What you eat, how you move, your sleep, how you handle stress, it all impacts your mitochondria.
So it's about creating an environment where they can thrive.
Exactly. Imagine giving them the best fuel, keeping them well maintained with exercise, and letting them recharge with enough sleep. That's how you maximize their lifespan and efficiency.
This makes me think about the Advanced Mitochondrial Formula supplement. Could something like that actually make a difference?
That's what we're going to look at next. It's got things like CoQ10, alpha lipoic acid, things that are known for potentially supporting mitochondrial function.
Okay, let's get into those ingredients and see what the science actually says.
Sounds good. Let's break them down one by one and see if they live up to the hype.
So we've talked about how important healthy mitochondria are and how, like, as we age, their function can decline.
Right. And you were really interested in that advanced mitochondrial formula
Well,
supplement, as a way to maybe support them.
yeah, exactly. The ingredients it has, CoQ10, alpha lipoic acid. I've heard of those, but I don't really know how they work.
Okay, well, let's break it down. CoQ10 is something that's naturally in our bodies, and it has a super important role in how mitochondria produce energy.
So more CoQ10 means more energy, is basically it.
Yeah, kind of, in a simple way, yeah. Studies show that CoQ10 supplements can improve mitochondrial function, especially if someone has a deficiency. It acts as an antioxidant, too, so it protects those delicate membranes in the mitochondria from damage by free radicals.
Gotcha, that makes sense. What about that alpha lipoic acid? The source I sent you claimed it, like, regenerates other antioxidants.
For alpha lipoic acid is cool because it can dissolve in both water and fat, so it can work in different parts of the cell. It seems like it does help recycle other antioxidants, like vitamin C and E, so that it indirectly supports mitochondrial health.
Oh, so it's like a team player, making the other antioxidants work better.
Exactly. Then there's N-acetylcysteine, or NAC. That's actually something that helps your body make glutathione.
Glutathione, that rings a bell. Isn't that one of the main antioxidants our body makes itself?
Yep, and it's crucial for protecting those mitochondria from damage. NAC is like the building block for making more glutathione. So basically, it's boosting our natural defenses against oxidative stress.
So we've got ingredients that help energy production, protect against damage, and even boost our own antioxidant production.
Right, and don't forget about the B vitamins and magnesium in the formula. B vitamins are essential for a lot of metabolic processes in the cells, including making energy. And magnesium, well, it's involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions, many of which are happening in the mitochondria.
Okay, this formula seems to be pretty comprehensive. But is there actual scientific evidence to support these claims? You know what I mean?
That's the million-dollar question, and to be honest, it's not so straightforward. We have a lot of research on each individual ingredient, showing their potential benefits. But studying a formula where they're all combined, that's a lot trickier.
Yeah, I guess it's tough to isolate the effects of one ingredient when they're all working together.
Exactly. And keep in mind, people respond to these things differently. What works great for one person might do nothing for another. It all comes down to genetics, their lifestyle, their overall health.
So even though the science on the individual ingredients seems promising, we can't say for sure this particular formula is like a miracle cure for everyone.
Right, and it's really important to remember that any supplement, even with good ingredients, isn't a replacement for a healthy lifestyle.
Like we discussed before, diet, exercise, sleep, stress management, those are the foundations.
Exactly. Those are the key things. Think of supplements like maybe they enhance those foundations, but they can't replace them entirely.
Okay, that makes sense. So if someone is thinking about taking this advanced mitochondrial formula or any supplement really, what should they do?
First and foremost, talk to your doctor. They can tell you if a supplement is right for you, considering your health history, any medications you might be taking.
Makes sense. You don't want any surprises, right?
Exactly, you want to be safe. And remember, supplements are just one piece of the puzzle. Focus on building those healthy habits, eating a good diet, lots of antioxidants, regular exercise, enough sleep, managing stress effectively. Those are the real keys to long-term mitochondrial health, keeping them functioning well.
Okay, so we've talked about how mitochondria work, how their function can decline with age, and how lifestyle and maybe supplements can play a part in keeping them healthy. But there's still so much to learn about these tiny things, right?
Oh, absolutely. There's a ton of cutting-edge research happening right now. It's incredible. Things like mitochondrial transplantation and even gene editing. It's really exciting stuff.
Wow, that sounds like sci-fi. I can't wait to hear more about that. We've spent this whole deep dive exploring the world of mitochondria, right from their role as like the powerhouses of our cells to the impact of lifestyle choices, and even delved into the science behind supplements like that advanced mitochondrial formula.
Yeah, but like you mentioned, there's so much cutting-edge research happening now. It could totally change how we approach mitochondrial health.
That's what I'm excited about. This whole idea of mitochondrial transplantation just sounds like science fiction.
It does, doesn't it? But it's a field that's growing really fast, and it could potentially treat all kinds of conditions, even mitochondrial diseases that we basically thought were untreatable before.
So how does it work? Are we literally talking about transplanting mitochondria from one cell to another?
Yeah, basically. Researchers are figuring out how to take healthy mitochondria from a donor cell
Hmm.
and transfer them into cells that have damaged mitochondria. It's kind of like a cellular organ transplant.
That's wild. But do the recipient cells just accept these new mitochondria? Like, does it work that easily?
It's pretty amazing, but yeah, cells seem to be able to take up and integrate those mitochondria from outside. Of course, there are still challenges, like making sure the donor mitochondria are pure and compatible
Hmm.
and finding ways to deliver them to the right tissues.
So it's not just a simple swap, but the potential benefits seem huge.
They really do. Imagine being able to treat things like Parkinson's, heart failure, even cognitive decline as we age, just by giving cells healthy mitochondria. That's the goal.
The source I sent you also mentioned using gene editing as a possible treatment. What's that all about?
Well, gene editing techniques like CRISPR-Cas9 have really changed how we can work with DNA. Researchers are looking at how they could correct defects in mitochondrial DNA, and that could potentially cure some inherited mitochondrial diseases.
So instead of replacing the mitochondria, we could fix the genes that are causing the problems in the first place.
Exactly. It's early days for this research, but super exciting. Of course, with gene editing, there are always ethical considerations we need to be really careful about.
It feels like we're on the edge of a whole new era in how we understand and treat mitochondrial dysfunction.
I think so too. As research keeps advancing, we're going to learn so much more about these incredible parts of our cells and hopefully unlock ways to use that knowledge to help people.
It's been amazing exploring the world of mitochondria with you. We've learned so much, from the basics of how they work to these incredible breakthroughs that could change medicine forever.
And I hope our listeners have a new appreciation for these tiny powerhouses that are working so hard to keep them healthy.
Totally. And remember, those mitochondria are with you every second of every day. So think about the choices you're making, what you eat, how much you move, how much rest you get. It all matters.
Yeah, keep those mitochondria happy, and they'll keep you going strong.
This has been a fascinating deep dive, and we hope you'll keep learning about the amazing world of mitochondria. Who knows what we'll discover next?
Definitely stay curious, everyone.